effective right now for Sair, though. And there they go. There are the forces going in. There's not much, though, and I don't think this is going to do much. There might be a storm drop of some sort. There's a shuttle. Oh, there is a storm drop. Doesn't catch SCVs, though. So these Arbiters... Oh, one of them's going to... No, not go down. That's very critical. You can just hear the Korean commentators going nuts here. They love Bisu, man. And certainly, you know, the most of the female fans probably like Bisu out there. I gotta say, he is a very pretty guy. You know, pretty in the girly sense. But you know, he's the kind of guy you want to. I'm sure most girls want him to paint their nails with. You know, he's that kind of dude. Paint their nails. You know, talk about gossip girls. So Bisu right now is just sending in a couple of forces at once. Not sure where he's going with this, but both players, I gotta say, are not able to kill one another, and Sair is holding up pretty darn well in this game. I thought he'd be dead by now, actually. But he's actually managing to pick up another base, which would make him a little bit closer. Oh, look at this. They're showing the observer. Still has not discovered the bottom left. And, you know, I think Sair might even mine it out before Bisu discovers it. He just does not expect it. And that is how successful it's been. That is a lot of tanks clumped up on the left side. Oh, please do not clump up your tanks. Oh, Sair gets off a good EMP, though, possibly on the Arbiter that was about to freeze all those tanks. But, wow, and the storms are not effective this time. They don't catch that huge clump. So despite Sair not spreading his tanks out, he is saved from a bunch of massive stasises and storms that could have wrecked his army there. I think that was showing 3-3. I'm looking at the highest possible quality, but I can't be sure. But I do think both players are getting close to max upgrades here. Right now they're showing us how far Sair has gotten in terms of mining out the bottom left. And Bisu might finally discover it this time with his Zealot. No, he's going... Is he going to go for it? He's going into the natural of the bottom left, and he's going to get into the bottom left. Finally, he's going to see this fully up and running base showing Bisu. Too bad Bisu has that Botox. No facial reactions possible for him. Although I'm sure that he's quite unhappy looking at the low-level minerals there, knowing that Sair has snuck this expansion behind his back for the last 15 minutes of the game. And now Sair is probably going to be able to defend. Just looking at that massive army there, Sair knows that he's like, I'm not going to be able to keep this base. Just running everything he has. But those SCVs, actually, I don't know if it was the best idea to run them. I think he could have just left them there, to be honest, because none of them get through. And this force of Bisu's might actually die here. In fact, I think the best thing for Sair to do actually would be to go for a counterattack, because his army here would be trapped. Oh, a recall on the left side! Wow, that was a huge recall. And Sair rather, not Corsair, forced to retreat another base. So now Sair is behind, way behind. He's lost 2 effective bases, and I think he's actually out of mining resources now. He's not mining anywhere. So Sair, from 2 brilliant attacks from Bisu, is now way behind, and I don't know if he's going to be able to stay in this game very much longer. I gotta say, that was a great two-way attack from Bisu, and Sair, unfortunately, I don't think he reacted properly to the bottom left. I think the correct response was actually to go for the attack, because there's no way he could have saved the bottom left on time, and you know, as we saw there, he wasn't even able to take out this force here. Instead, he left himself open for a recall. And at the same time, he didn't put any pressure on Bisu. So Sair is effectively not mining at all. He's not mining any minerals. Whereas Bisu might even recall some probes over there just to start up a new base for himself. Bisu is out of minerals at most of his bases also, though, I gotta point out, but he still has 2 bases fully up and running at the bottom right rather. And Sair, I don't think has anything. I think he's got maybe some minerals at the second natural. And Bisu is now going for another recall, possibly. Sair, I really think should be attacking. I think he should have been attacking, rather. And he's probably going to get recalled upon with that small clump from the bottom left. It's probably going to go there. Sair spots it. And those forces perhaps are going to get recalled any moment. Bisu might actually be doing this as a fake once again. Maybe he's not going to recall. It's just going to make Sair think he's going to. And Sair right now is confused. Oh, he's going to bring it over to Science Vessel. EMP! Alright, so now that Arbiter will be pretty much useless. Going to take some pot shots on the SCVs, but it does 5 damage with each shot to an SCV, so I think that's going to be fine for Sair. Bisu right now still is just way ahead. I mean, Sair... Oh, Sair, man. I'm a little disappointed in his play. I think he panicked a little bit, and that stopped him from doing the right thing. And here Bisu is going to recall this time, and he's going to get in, but there are a lot of vultures and units there, so this group is not going to be that effective. Meanwhile, though, he has managed to stop the 12 o'clock from going up, and he's picking it up himself, and he could be going for another recall inside the main. This one could be brutal, though. This one probably is going to be able to take care of business. Oh, man, perfect spot, too. Just look at that recall location on the ramp, and Sair knows it's pretty much over at this point. Sair playing a pretty good game, I gotta say. He might have a chance yet to get out of this group, but Bisu looks like he is going to be picking up this first set here. Unfortunately for Sair, I think his late game play just wasn't nearly as good as Bisu's. He was good at defending, but those frontal attacks. But he should have been, to be honest. I mean, that's what the Terran does best: is defend when he's set up in a strong position. Terrans are great at doing that, but he was unable to handle multi-way attacks, which of course Bisu is going to be throwing at him. So Sair actually, though, going for a big endgame attack, though. Let's not completely call this one out yet. If Bisu cannot handle this very powerful late-game army, then he won't be able to win the game anyway. The thing is, right now, Sair really should have attacked with this army a while ago. I don't know what he's doing right now. He's splitting up his forces. Okay, so he can just send 4 tanks to try to blow up the lower right, but oh man, he's sending his forces back to defend his left side base, his 9 o'clock. I think this is a mistake. I honestly do. The longer he procrastinates attacking Bisu's main, the more Bisu is just going to pump out units, and Bisu is just going to be able to reinforce, whereas Sair is not. He's procrastinating, attacking, and he's going to lose all of his army here. Even though he does get a good EMP off on the Dragoons, it's not going to matter. Right now, Sair has lost all of his vultures, and there are those tanks unveiled for the Zealots to rip into. And that is going to be it for Sair. I think that he's lost the nucleus of his army. And wow, I'm amazed. Why did he not just go for the main or something? I mean, Bisu is going to win this game partially because of Sair's mistakes. I think 5 or 10 minutes ago, Sair was near maxed when he got recalled at the bottom left. If he had gone for the main base of Bisu at that moment, I think he would have had the best chance of the game to win. Now he's obviously out of the game, and just right now it shows. I mean, even with your last-ditch attack, you should attack in the right place. You don't go to defend. It's called an all-in for a reason. You don't be like you're not like all in except for the forces I'm going to send home to defend hopelessly. I'm supposed to attack with all my forces. So Sair is going to lose almost all of his buildings, in fact, and Bisu with some DTs, although Sair still has 1 or 2 vessels, so that's going to be good for him until he loses those vessels. He might have some spare minerals, and he's got a factory, 1 factory up. Oh man, defense matrix from Sair, nice move. Sair trying his utmost here to pick off Bisu's bases. And try to wipe out Bisu. We've seen some very interesting elimination matches on this map, but I don't think this one's going to be that close, to be honest. I think Bisu has managed to hold. He's still has enough in the bank, and from the lower right, which is still going up. I mean, even just 3 minutes ago, Sair should have used all of his forces to take out the lower right, which is the only place where Bisu was mining. Just stop worrying about building up again. You got to take down Bisu's production before you think about mining. And he's still trying to mine. He's got the natural expansion of the bottom left, which he's sharing with Bisu, who has the main of the bottom left. And Sair, once again, is going to be attacking. This time he's going to go for the forces here. Sair needs to be careful with that science vessel. That science vessel might be his only detection left in this game. And it's critical, otherwise the DTs will rip him apart here. And oh, recall here from Bisu behind the tanks. Oh, and with some storm to boot. Oh man, Sair is going to finally lose here. Decent run, GG coming from Sair. Wow, so many regrets, I think. Had Sair been a slightly different, more experienced, more seasoned player, he might have been able to come back and win. But Sair, look at him, he's crushed. Oh, he is absolutely crushed, man. I mean, you shouldn't feel that bad. You really shouldn't feel that bad, Sarah, dude. You know, for someone who is 25% win rate and who I saw was 1-2 against Protoss, I'm not sure if that includes this game or not, but for someone who's got those stats, managing to last and leave a 1/2 hour exciting game against Kim Tae-yong is something you should be proud of, not saddened about. So anyway, we're going to be moving on to Game 2, Go-Go versus Intercom. And then, of course, we'll have Game 3, where Bisu will face the winner of Game 2, coming up next.